in the club. Britney Spears, wooty wooty woo. Whoever the fuck was popping at that time. Then they'll go, they'll download that song for free. Like I'm finna get 50 Cent at the club. They'll hit download, they hit play, it'll go, you don't. So they're like, what the fuck is this? By a minute in, they're like, damn, this shit hard.
Alright, what is up everybody? So today I'm giving the flowers to one of the most legendary finessers in the rap game. Of course I'm talking about Big Draco, aka Soulja Boy. Now not only can he morph into any other trending rapper like he's Ditto, but this man has systematically got into the bag for over a decade now, using some of the most creative tactics. I remember back in the day, Soulja Boy was selling retweets for like $4. He would follow you for $2. He had it set up on his website, you could go place your order and he would just shout you out or like your tweet. But that was just the beginning of a long list of schemes and finesses that Big Soulja would pull off. From hacking LimeWire when he was 17 to being sued by another guy named Soulja Boy. I mean, who could forget the infamous $400 million contract?
You know, this $400 million deal that was sparked up. Can you finally speak on that situation?
Yeah. Basically, man, I just got involved into like some big business type shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit that rappers ain't involved in.
Yes, this is the legend of Big Soulja, and we're gonna get into all this. But before we do, let me show you my song of the day. This is an artist named I don't even know where to start, because Big Soulja's basically been in the game for damn near 15 years. He's not even 30 yet. People don't realize he made all his own beats on a shitty computer in his room when he was 17.
You in the lab with your nigga Soulja Boy, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna show y'all how I'm on these beats, man. Check this out right here, check this out.
Soulja, he was a good worker, man. He was always on his computer, networking on the internet, was doing his own beats.
Most of the songs are produced by him, written by him. But Soulja Boy's biggest talent was not the music, it was the hustle mentality. How do I get people to hear my stuff? That was his philosophy. He was grinding on SoundClick back in 2005, 2006, getting 20,000 plays a day, making 99 cents per listen, splitting it in half with the company. That's about 10 racks a day. Then he moved to MySpace. That was the new frontier.
Check it out, 92,000 friends, shutting it all down, the competition. When I ain't doing the show, you can hit me up on the computer. When I ain't on the computer, you can hit me up at the show.
He had went from 17,000 friends to like 300-some thousand friends in like 10 months. And how he was doing it, every song he made, he would call his website and MySpace out.
He's so good with his digital marketing shit that he named his 2007 studio album souljaboytellhim.com. He named his album his website, and his website was his album. It was genius. But the way that he got everybody to know about him was with Crank That. This was back when the internet was the Wild West. If you were on LimeWire, you were rolling the dice, praying you didn't get a virus. And Soulja Boy knew how to manipulate the search results on LimeWire. He would upload Crank That under a different song name. Whatever was popping at the time, Eminem, 50 Cent, Britney Spears, he would name it that. People would download it expecting one thing and ended up getting Crank That. And it blew him up to where his album, souljaboytellhim.com, sold 950,000 copies in the States. Even though that shit got a 3 out of 10 rating, almost unanimously by every single music critic. But it didn't matter. He signed a deal with Interscope, he sold over 800,000 ringtones, and made a ton of money. The next bit of genius marketing, I hope everybody remembers the hit song, Kiss Me Through the Phone. Now there's one part in this song just before the chorus where Sammy sings a phone number. Let's go! That was actually a voicemail that he set up so fans could send him messages, which is genius because the song became a smash hit and he collected all those numbers and built a database of fans. And what's funny is the song became so big, you had people trying to ring up the number that were outside of the country and they didn't use the right international dialing code. They ended up calling this family in Manchester, England with the same 12-digit number, and their shit was getting lit up for like a whole year till they finally decommissioned the phone number. And now if you're in the States and call that number, it goes to an unknown commercial advertiser in Georgia. Anyways, Soulja Boy kept making money throughout the 2000s and the 2010s came around and he needed to adapt. MySpace had already gone, Facebook was kinda whack, and even without a hit song, he knew he could monetize his platform. So he went to Twitter and he started selling retweets for $4, just diversifying his income. Around that time, he also had to adjust to the sound of the music that was popping. In 2012, it was Chicago drill music. That's when he somehow ended up on a classic track with Chief Keef called Foreign Cars, which is an underground smash hit. Now this song's good and shit at the same time. The engineer did Soulja Boy super dirty and put his auto-tune in the wrong key. And to this day, it's the funniest transition when you go from Sosa's verse to Soulja Boy's verse, right? A year later in 2013, unfortunately, Soulja Boy and Chief Keef had this massive falling out, right? Ball Out stole Big Soulja's chain, and Soulja Boy sent threats to Chief Keef over Facebook. Then he leaked his phone number, telling fans to tell Sosa that he was looking for him. Basically, from then on, Soulja Boy just started beefing with all sorts of people on Twitter and Instagram.
Put who on? Nigga? What you want to do here, nigga? You put who on? Nigga, I put you on, fuck, nigga. I want to beat your ass, nigga.
He went after Chris Brown, Quavo. Then he had a big beef with Rico Reckless from Chicago.
You showed up at Soulja Boy's house.
At his house.
He put 100,000 on your head.
Yeah, like they wanted, people this right here, he put 100,000 up on my head. It was people that was like, oh, you can sue for that. They can't do that shit right there. I'm like, what type of snitch ass shit you want? I'm just gonna go to his house and knock on his door.
Okay.
But, yeah, I popped up at his door. His dad went out the back door and then tried to go to Dubai.
This was at the same time that people like DJ Academics were making fun of Soulja Boy for claiming he bought a $6 million mansion, when in reality he was renting off Airbnb. So it was basically the entire internet versus Soulja Boy, right? He was taking on all beefs. And then he allegedly had this $400 million deal with a poker company called Celebrity Poker.
$400 million deal that was sparked up. Can you finally speak on that situation?
Yeah. Basically, it was a new contract that was signed by the government, and nobody else had this contract but us. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it was a big deal. So what it wasn't $400 million going into my pocket directly, but it was $400 million deal with the worth of the deal with us.
Now, anytime someone comes out and says they signed a $400 million deal out of the blue, most people, they turn around and they go, no, you didn't. Long story short, the $400 million number was basically a benchmark that the company wanted to hit. The contract capped out at $400 million, but in no way in hell was anybody getting $400 million. And let me tell you, by reading deeper into the company, they were making like $13,000 a month or something, which I mean is not bad, but nowhere near enough to warrant a $400 million valuation. That thing kind of fell through, but you gotta respect Soulja Boy's ability to make business moves, even if they don't work. Now, by far my favorite move that Soulja Boy made was in 2018. Everybody remembers when he launched SouljaWatch.com.
How much did I make yesterday, Charlotte?
Boy, if you don't stop yelling at me, it's $233,000, $604.88.
Thank you. SouljaWatch.com.
Now this shit was smart because it looked awful. It looks like a Russian website where you go to buy like a kidney on the underground market or something, you know? It looks super bootleg. And all the blogs and all the pages were clowning Soulja Boy because the website looked so bad. It was trash. It was a basic Shopify store, no custom themes, no attempt at any branding. All he was doing was drag and dropping these cheap Chinese products onto his website, and the business model is called dropshipping. And to boil it down, he's just a middleman, right? He doesn't pay for inventory, he just puts the product in front of you, takes your order, then a Chinese supplier makes and ships the product. Now, people are making some serious cash doing this, but usually you gotta spend a ton of money to build that customer trust. You gotta spend money to make ads that draw people into your store. For Soulja Boy, the opposite was true. It's almost like the worse the shit looked, the more people were drawn to the website. It was like the greatest case of anti-marketing I've ever seen. The delivery, the product, it was all so bad that it worked. And while everybody was clowning his website, Soulja Boy went on a press run, right? He went to Breakfast Club, he went to Complex. He knew exactly what he had to do to generate that traffic. And guess what? In just 28 days, over 2.2 million people visited SouljaWatch.com. Now, there's various different websites that calculate how much they thought he made, and Soulja Boy posted a screenshot of his earnings for one day, and of course, that's net revenue, not net profit. But all in all, I made a spreadsheet to estimate how much he made in that 1 month. On the low end, Low end, he made at least 530 grand in 28 days. That's on the low end. But anyways, what I find beautiful is while everybody was laughing at him, he was making bank, bruh. He had no music that was relevant, but he was making big money. People talk about 6ix9ine as being the greatest marketer in the current day and age, but I put Soulja Boy up there against anybody as one of the most legendary schemers and finessers. Legendary. And yeah, man, I just felt like I had to pay my respects. Shout out to Soulja Boy. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure you smash a like. Please subscribe.